The fundamental purpose of education is to transform the human, his mind and persona through a careful and deliberate teaching process aimed at liberating him from ignorance, which shrouds the mind and blinds the vision of truth. It is also a process by which the society deliberately transmits its accumulated knowledge, skills, and values from generation to generation. Little wonder the United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO believes that education is a human right for all and that access must be matched by quality because it transforms lives, builds peace, eradicates poverty, and drives sustainable development.
Say, this is my hair. This is my hair. This is my ear. This is my ear. I hear with my ear. I hear with my ear.
That the education system in Nigeria, like most developing countries, doesn't seem to respond to concerted efforts at revamping it could be traced to a variety of issues, ranging from corruption, poor funding, poor teacher quality. Most unfortunately, teaching has become an all-comers affair instead of a noble profession. The quest to become a teacher arguably is now a last resort when all other job attempts fail.
In Nigeria, we have enormous challenges facing the education sector. Some of these challenges boils down to the issue of funding. The education sector is poorly funded, and again, lack of personnel.
Nigeria, for now, will say that the standard of education has gone down drastically, not because we don't have the manpower, but because facilities are not put in place. And the number of persons seeking the education, they are more than the number that can be absorbed by the ratio of facilities to students. And that is the serious issue.
It is, however, heartwarming that amidst these myriads of discouraging scenarios, the administration of Governor Ifeanyi Okowa in Delta has been thinking out of the box and breaking new grounds, thus making teaching and learning a worthy experience. For instance, it was discovered students and pupils resumed late, in some cases 2 weeks after resumption from vacation. Reason was that campuses were overgrown by weeds and no student or pupil wanted any part of that manual labor of grass cutting. So, a back-to-school program was developed.
In the back-to-school program, we're able to design a program where we engage individuals, community leaders, corporate organizations operating around schools. They came, they helped to weed the school, fumigated the school before resumption. We so targeted this program that it moves from one step to the other so that we can retain the children. By the time you come back to school day one, your friends will tell you, they've cleared our school. And if you know they have cleared your school, you know that one fear that you have is gone, you will come to school.
For every child or for every human who would like an easy life, it has helped seeing that when you resume before now, you are to cut grass. It makes a lot of them not resume early. Very few that are serious-minded or that have good parenting resume early when their parents propel them. But seeing that these things are done for them by the government, it makes them resume. The very first day of resumption will have a good number. That is because the work they were expected to do at the first week of resumption is done for them by the government.
Make sure that the feed, everything is okay. We are all here to support the government to take care of the school and to make sure that everything goes well.
It is a truism that the government cannot fund education alone on account of many sectors of the economy competing for limited resources. The Okowa-led administration will not miss out on opportunities to help it in this wise. Consequently, it paid her counterpart funding to help it access education funds from the Universal Basic Education Board.
In the first administration of His Excellency Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, we were able to access UBEC fund. We accessed it from 2013 to 2018. His Excellency was able to pay. That shows his interest in the educational sector.
The governor has done very well. The renovation and construction of classrooms with furnitures, VIP toilets, all these are put in place to ensure that the children will be enticed to go to school, especially in the rural areas.
Something good has happened to us. If you enter all the classes, there are chairs. All the children are well seated, so they enjoy coming into the class because almost every class has 3 sitters. I will say more grace, sir, because they have tried.
The present administration is doing well. We expect him to do more so that our children will have the education as the foundation for life.
For Delta State government, the approach to education is holistic. To this end, the administration keeps its eyes on physical infrastructure and suitable accommodation for the students and pupils. For instance, the reconstruction of Okotiebo 1 and 2 Primary School in Sapele has transformed the learning condition in both schools situated in the same environment.
Tangible and verifiable facts on ground point us to the fact that Delta State's government approach to education, both basic and secondary education, is geared towards quality, from the recruitment of personnel, that is the teachers, the provision of adequate infrastructure like we've got here, and also the school's furniture ready for the kids to have their lessons. For instance, I'm standing on the balcony of Okotiebo 1 Primary School in Sapele. This school has all been renovated, ready for the children to take their lectures. And incidentally, the community people too have lent their voices to this noble development, because this school has been in the news for not too good reasons in the recent past. But all that has been confined to the dustbin of history.
I want to give thanks to our workaholic governor, Dr. Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, for this massive job. There are other good areas. He also did the same. But here is extraordinary. To the state we are now, we are very satisfied.
Doing this in this vicinity, we are very happy, and we'll make sure we protect everything here. We appeal to the government to try their best to do more.
With this wonderful edifice here now, it will improve teaching and learning, because many of the children will be coming, they will be happy coming to school, not as before. The teachers, that willingness to teach will be there. The pupils, though they will be ready to learn. Teaching learning will be very, very effective, and it will boost the academic performance of the children.
Speaking with the little kids, Ogenedoro Isaiah and Silva Oboroge, there is a sense of fulfillment that the government is moving in the right trajectory.
Education is the hope of life in your future. I hope to become a lecturer in future. My teacher teaches well. She teaches with love and kindness, and I understand all the lessons they teach me. My future, I want to become a medical doctor.
Before now, some parents, they take their children to the private schools, but now they are bringing them back to the school. If you see the school now, the population is growing because of the conducive environment for learning. We thank our Governor Okowa for these new developments.
From Sapele, Smart Delta Media took off to Igoyota Primary School at Mosoga. Head teacher Akbe Francis and his lieutenants are happy things are looking up, especially with teacher quality in public schools.
Before, we were only having a block of 3 classrooms and a block of 6 classrooms. But today, the renovation is on at the other 6 classrooms, and nearing completion. The contractor is really doing a good work here, and their work is fast moving. Must have to commend the effort of the state governor, who have started a good work here.
When the rain is falling, we see all of them running home due to the bad building, you know. I know after this now, the children, they will be happy, and the learning environment will be conducive for them. Effective learning will be going on.
Arriving at Sam Ogbakpa Primary School, we met the head teacher, Isedore Godwin. Like Igoyota, we noticed some classroom blocks here were also under renovation. Head teacher was grateful for government's stride at providing a befitting teaching and learning environment, but like the proverbial Oliver Twist, he wants more.
Some years ago, if you look at this, my school of a 6 classroom building is in a chamber. But today, you can see is taking a good shape. And who is doing it? It's our amiable governor. So I give kudos to him. Generally, education is kicking off well in the states.
The importance of education cannot be overemphasized. It is the bedrock of every nation, and the society cannot do without education. It's the bedrock and the foundation upon which every other development is based on. So we thank the state governor for coming to our aid.
The new focus is on output. The aggregation of physical and intellectual re-engineering is geared towards this direction. This much was revealed by Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education Patrick Uka in a chat with Smart Delta recently.
Our dream is that we'll continue to intervene. We are going to lay more emphasis this time on output. We have it as a target that we must be rated among the third best in Nigeria.
The Okowa administration, it has helped children in the other states, and also he has the affairs of children in his agenda. Looking at things in the other state now, it has really improved our standard because in our academic section, we now perform well.
Smart Delta. Welcome to Delta. My Delta, my Delta. Welcome to Delta. My Delta, my Delta. Come live in Delta. Come invest in Delta. Come explore the potentials of our state. You better run, come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do. You better run, come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do. I see a job and work creation in Delta. Make the youth say them higher. Okowa. I see good roads everywhere in Delta. Make the people say them cola. Empowerment for the farmers in Delta. Good and quality education in Delta. Well-equipped hospitals here in Delta. Peace and security in all the Delta. Come live in Delta. Come invest in Delta. Come explore the potentials of our state.
Turning our attention to Urue Secondary School, Mireje Town, it was obvious the school was overhauled not too long ago, and also school's furniture supplied. Both students and teachers share their experiences.
I feel happy for coming to school now because the school is more convenient and comfortable. Thank you, Governor, for renovating our school.
The school they leaked before, sit not there. There is not honorary ground, but we government can remember us. They can renovate and give us seats. Change teachers, the government try.
One common factor among them was that teaching and learning have been more impactful.
Before, some of our students don't normally come to school because they don't have seats to sit, but for now we have a lot of seats, and some of our classes have been changed to marker board, then where the teacher will come to the class. Everybody now adopt the new system of education. The government really tried for us.
I feel encouraged and lively each time I'm coming to school because there is enough teachers, a very conducive environment, and I'm proud to say I'm a student of Urue Secondary School, Mireje.
We community, Mireje community town, we thank our governor, Ifeanyi Okowa, for elevating our school, making our school nice, beautiful.
The experiences at Baptist Medical Secondary School, Eku, which derives its name from its location within the precincts of Eku Baptist Hospital, is no different from the others.
The school was a mess before the state government came in. Now we are happy. The government has put its very best to make sure that education is going on.
The government of Okowa now has brought light into this school environment, and everywhere there is peace. The students are up to standard, and the environment is looking also standard.
The renovation have given us enough opportunity and standard education, because without a comfortable class, we cannot listen attentively. I say a very big thank you to the Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, and God will bless him.
In fact, the revolutionary physical and mental re-engineering the Okowa-led administration has embarked upon in education subsector is rubbing off positively on how students see their government. Take a listen to Anuya, Esemi, Osere, and others.
The government really helped us. It helped us in our education. It gave us the strength to, we are future leaders of tomorrow by elevating our school. And it gave us the courage to read, to attend our classes. With the students of Baptist Medical Staff Secondary School, we are saying thank you.
I thank Dr. Senator Ifeanyi Okowa for renovating the school, because by doing this, it encourages students to enter classes, and it's giving the students encouragement for them to go for education.
Now we can now sit in the class comfortably, listening and paying attention to whatever the teachers are teaching us. And now we can also go to the library to collect books that will enable and enhance our knowledge. I say a very big thank you to Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa for the good works he have done for the students of BMC.
One of the latest government policies in education that has made schooling very exciting is the policy of Welcome Back Test. Commissioner Patrick Uka explains what the policy is all about.
It's not just a text. It's a text that attempts to test our ability as students. Students tend to, when we go for holidays, we play, we do all those things, and when we come back, we seem to have forgotten what we've taught last term. But the welcome back term seems to remind us, when you come back, you have someone to tell you what have you learned. That's the essence of the welcome back term. Not just you entering the next class, but you being able to remember that which you've been taught in the previous class before you say, yes, I'm qualified to get into the next class.
With policies like this and others too many to outline here, it is not surprising students of both primary and secondary schools in Delta State are always bubbly. This was very evident at Uroka Primary School, Abraka. Rejoice at Dogbeji, a senior girl, did not hide her displeasure with the old order where they had no seats, bad blackboards, etc. She and her friends are happy they can sing a new song.
I'd like to tell our governor thank you for making our school look like this and for making me not to sit in the ground again.
Thank you, Okowa, for building our school.
We are so happy that we are staying in good class. We are not staying silly that's league before, but now we are staying in good class. I thank you.
Sunday, Akbokinyovo, Chairman PTA and others lend supporting voices to testimonies from the students.
With this renovation of this block building, His Excellency Okowa is 100% okay. The children, they are even happy.
The government have answered our prayer. They have given us a new building, new chairs. So we are very grateful.
Before now, there are some gallops in the class. Sometimes the children will even fall and they will injure themselves home. But after the renovation of the classroom, everything is okay now. The children, they are happy. The teachers, they are happy.
Welcome to Delta State, the big heart. Come, live, invest, and explore the potentials of our Delta.
We live in a changing world where the old ways of doing things may no longer suit present realities. The Delta State government is not oblivious of this. So, in a proactive measure to combat general decadence and other unwholesome vices in its schools, necessitated the mindset and attitudinal change policy in its education system. To this extent, it is enlisting the support of community leaders where schools are located, corporate citizens, NGOs, youth groups, etc., by way of offering counseling to the young ones.
The whole idea was to inspire, motivate, and rejuvenate the faith of education with all the standards that it holds and as well as the promises in the lives of the kids, the children, the words in school. It's a way of also enacting the priority of the current administration, letting them understand that we hold education to being the foremost thing to building a progressive Delta.
UNESCO posits that education is a human right for all through life, and that access must be matched by quality. To this end, Delta State is combining access with quality by establishing additional 12 primary schools and 34 in difficult-to-reach places. With the new additions, Delta State now has 1,125 primary schools and 465 secondary schools.
We've put in a lot in terms of infrastructural development, having gone through the process of ensuring that the schools are needed in those communities.
That no section of the society is alienated due to circumstances of birth, 11 public primary schools have been established for persons living with disabilities, and 5 designated as inclusive schools where special needs students study alongside others.
We are in a society whereby people of this category are less considered. But to God be the glory, our governor, the persons of Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, has never looked down on these people but has a good mind for them.
There's ability in disability. If you teach these people, they're going to give you the best result that you need in life. So I want to thank the state government for starting a school like this. It's a good one.
I am happy to be in school. Thank you, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa.
In the area of human capital development to reposition basic and secondary education for effective teaching and learning, SUBEB since 2016 has trained 1,000 teachers through the cluster training program. Another 1,000 for the Jolly Phonetics, while 100 LEA supervisors were also trained on maintenance. Induction training for 501 DESOPADIC graduate staff deployed to PPEB to beef up the teaching force. This is inclusive of 100 French teachers across the state.
We are rehabilitating and retraining our teachers in the primary and secondary school. We have actually gone ahead to start building a teachers professional development center at the moment. And what that entails is that we need to have our teachers continuously retrained so that they're able to make the impact in the right direction.
If you don't have teachers who know what they are doing, the end products will not be good. So you need to invest on trainers to be able to have good outputs from what they do. So it's right to invest on teachers, and that's the way it ought to be.
Training and retraining has actually helped me. I've improved my teaching greatly. Once my teaching improved, it has a positive effect on the students.
We started teaching before this e-learning came into being. And so for us to be able to key into the new technology that is available, we need to first of all have training to change our mindset.
We are going to change the attitude we are bringing our students up. Some people think you just get into the class and teach them all you have known in the past. With the technology on ground, you should be able to see that when you are even teaching your children, they are checking the Google, they want to Google it out to see whether you are right. So you will carry the children along, not just giving them the mental knowledge, but the practical aspect of it.
With these policies and innovations in place in Delta, a solid foundation for the future of the younger generation is assured.
Come to Delta Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do you better. Run, come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do. I see your job and work creation in Delta. Make the youth say them higher. Okowa. I say good roads everywhere in Delta. Make the people say them cola. Come live in Delta. Say me I say. Come invest in Delta. Come explore the potentials of our state.